Good evening, everyone. I'm Nathan here with my wonderful wife, Laura.
Hello.
And we're going to do a review of the classic board game Pictionary, the game of quick draw.
We sure are. Yes, it's a classic. Not to me, though. I didn't grow up playing this. I think the first time I played it was this year.
Yeah, so I've played it before with a couple of friends. Actually, I think it was when I was on schoolies years and years ago, so I haven't played it in quite some time either.
Until this year.
This year. It's about drawing and then guessing what the other person's drawing, basically.
Essentially, yeah. So we're just going to talk about how you play through it. We're not going to show you our dreadful drawing skills.
No, absolutely
because
not.
Because they are dreadful.
And we also can't play it because you need to have at least a minimum of 3 players, and even then that's still not ideal.
No, you really want at least 4 to play it kind of correctly. We'll have a scan of the rules in the description down below. If they're not there straight away, bear with us. We're changing how we do the instructions. So
thanks,
just
Google.
Be patient.
Yeah, we'll have them up there for you.
Yeah. Alright, so this is the board. I gotta say, it's one of the most boring looking board game boards.
It's a functional board rather than a pretty looking board.
It makes me think of the periodic table.
Oh, yeah.
With all the elements and things on it, but that's not what it
How about
is.
just move that out of the way so we can sort of sit that down.
Yeah. So each of these spaces has a different letter on it. Well, not a totally different letter, but a different letter for the categories, because there are different groups which we have to draw things from, different categories.
So P is for person, place, animal, O for object, A for action, D for difficult, and AP is all player, which is slightly different to the other categories.
Yep, so you have a few of these categories cards, so you can give these out so players can remember what the letters are, because there's only the letters and not the actual full names of the categories on the board. That's what the back of those look like. So this is a game that you play in teams. It doesn't really matter how many people are on your team. Preferably you want to have each team evenly matched. But you've got to have at least a couple of people really to make the game work.
And I think it said it can have up to 16 teams.
Up to 16 people.
Up to 16 people, so
yeah.
You can be there for quite some time, depending on how many people you end up having.
And depends how good at drawing everyone is. So it comes with 4 pencils, so I guess the recommended would be 4 teams of 4 people if you had like a really big group. And of course you need something to draw on.
So we've got a whole bunch of pads. I think there's 4 there.
Yep.
4 pencils, 4 pens. 4 pencils, 4 pads.
Yep.
A very grotty looking timer.
Yeah, it doesn't look so crash hot anymore.
It's like it's gotten like liquid inside of it and it's sort of gotten clumpy.
Yeah, it's sort of more moist than it should be.
Our recommendation is maybe just use an actual watch or a phone or something if you're going to use a timer, since that one doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, some of them obviously in different releases, there's newer versions that might still be alright, but ours isn't that new. Alright.
These are blank dice.
These are the playing pieces. So again, it's kind of 4 teams is kind of what you'd be aiming for ideally.
Really, and they even sound like dice too.
The game instructions do say that it's more fun to have more people on a team but less teams than it is to have more teams with less people, if that makes sense. So, like, say they say it's going to be more fun with 2 teams, say with like 4 players each or 5 players each or something, rather than having 4 teams with only 2 each.
Because then the idea is one person draws and then the other people in your team have to guess it. So if you've got more people trying to guess that one thing, it's a lot more smoother experience and more ideas flowing.
Yes, whereas if you've got one person drawing and the other person on the team is looking and going, dunno.
Then it sort of just dies, that question, and then yeah.
Doesn't go that well. You have a regular die.
And we have the most important component. Once Laura manages to wrestle it from the box, we have the question, well, I suppose the category cards.
Yes.
And so the question cards, but it's not trivia.
So there's a few more of just like the key category ones to hand out to the teams. All the other cards have the same symbol.
Same
thing, the thing on the back.
The same thing, yes.
Yeah. So you want to show some of the cards?
So here we go. So some of them actually have little marks on them next to them, a little like arrow. I believe that is an all play.
Yes, which we'll explain in a minute.
So yeah, there's just a whole bunch, lots and lots of variations, and a lot of this stuff can still be played today. So even though I think it's about 80s.
Yeah, I mean, most of these are general things that would still be around, like, a thermometer. I mean, it might look different now to how it used to look when the game was released, but you can still draw a thermometer.
What does a Oh, permanent press.
Yes. We should note that when you are drawing, you can't use any words, numbers, or symbols, because if you can just write what it is, it's not Pictionary anymore.
No. So shall we tell about how sort of the gameplay sort of functions?
Yeah, so we're going to pretend as though we were two teams, just for ease of explaining. So we would take two of the colours, one red, one black. The start position is here on the letter P. So most people would think, you grab the dice and you roll. No.
That's only if you get a question or like a guess correct.
Yes. So your very first turn, you start on the P and you have to take a card and draw one of the P categories.
So for instance, if I was going first and pretend I've got more people on my team.
Yeah, so say Nathan and someone else is on his team.
And we'll pretend that it's just a regular one.
Oh, hang on. Let's get you a regular
Give me a regular one. Oh, they're all going to be...
They're all players. Here we go. All right, so say it's Nathan's turn. His team, pick this up.
Obviously, I'm the only one that looks at the thing.
So
I don't show it to my team, otherwise it defeats the purpose.
You pick a picturist, which is the person who's going to draw. So we'll say that's you, Nathan, and you've got another person playing with you. Hey!
So, okay, all right, I got the category, and then I take my pad my pencil, and then I draw a really sad clown, like this. And all the time while my other teammates are then guessing what I'm trying to draw.
Yeah, so the person on Nathan's team could be like, cowboy, doctor, I don't know, whatever they think it looks like.
So it'll either go one of two ways. If they get it correct, and I go, congratulations, you got it correct, I then roll the dice, and then I go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I pick another card, look at the category, which was AP, people, and then I keep going.
Well, AP is something.
But pretend it was, whatever the category may be.
You keep going as long as you get them right.
Correct.
If you get it wrong, however, the turn just passes on to the next team. So say that would be then my team. You're over there. You got one right, pretend. So then it would be my team's turn. Say I'm the picturist and I've got someone else with me. Again, I have to do the first letter, which is the P, so I might pick up... I'm trying to find a plain one. There's so many all plays. There, lady. I do the same thing. I draw a lady. My teammate guesses. If I get it wrong, I stay where I am.
And then the next turn you draw another card, and it's the same category.
Yes, you have to get it right in that category to roll. If you get it wrong, too bad. You're staying where you are.
So, apart from all play, which we'll explain in a moment, that's the gist. You keep drawing, guessing, moving on the board with the dice if you get it right.
Until you come all the way to the end. So the all play are not only on the board, the little AP spaces, but we kept finding those symbols. This is the all play symbol as well. So whether you land on one or you get one of those with the symbol, every single team plays.
So instead of me drawing and then just my team guessing what I'm drawing, when I'm drawing, both my team and your team can guess what it is?
Yes, so like Nathan's team, someone will be drawing on their team, someone will be drawing on my team. Whoever gets it correct first takes control, gets to roll, and goes on in the same way. If nobody gets it right, well, nobody gets it right, do they?
And then the play would just pass to the next team, whoever's turn
it would have been. Yep. So this is 1 minute. So either it's you guess it or you run out of time.
I think whenever we played it, we didn't even bother using a timer. It was either we're going to guess it or we're not going to guess it.
Yeah, sometimes someone will draw something, you just sit there and you go, I just don't know what it is. The picturist, the person drawing, rotates each turn. So say Nathan has a go, Nathan's drawing, and the person he's playing with guesses. The next time it comes around to be their team's
then they
turn,
would be the picturist and I'd be the one guessing.
Exactly. So there is a way you can play with only 3 players instead of having the 4 or more for teams. It's kind of iffy. So in that case, one of those 3 players is always the picturist. So they're not really playing the game at all.
They're just being the picturist for the other 2 players who are actually in the game.
Yes. So then the other 2 people play the game as normal, and always the same picturist draws then for either one of the players playing. You win in the same way, you play in the same way. That's the only real difference.
To actually win, you basically, the last question is always an all play.
Yep, that's the finish here.
And then if you're on this space, then you have to answer the all play question or guess it correctly, whoever's drawing, and then you win.
But of course, you're all playing, which makes it harder. So if you land there, you would pick up one of these as usual, try and draw a bullseye. Say Nathan is at the end and I'm not. He's going to be furiously drawing, or someone on his team, someone on my team is going to be furiously drawing. It depends then. on who guesses it correctly.
So if my team doesn't guess it correctly, well, I've got to do another all play next turn.
You have to wait for your next turn. Play would then move to the team that gets it right, if that is the case. If you get it right while you're on here, you win the game and it's over. If nobody gets it right, again, play just passes to the next team and you move forward again like that.
So just drawing and guessing. It all comes down to.
Yeah, I really like the idea of this game, but I'm not good at drawing. And as we discovered when we had to play the 3-player version, we found someone to play with us, yay! When we did that, none of us were great at drawing. None of us were great at guessing.
I was not too bad at guessing, but my drawing is very, very poor.
It took a really long time. So this is definitely one you want the bigger team, so you have more
Ideas flowing.
Yes, more ideas flowing. That's a good way of putting it. So definitely a classic, but you know, I think the outcome may vary.
If you don't have many people to play with, I'd maybe give it a miss.
Yeah. If you enjoyed watching this video, give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comment section down below. Have you played Pictionary? Did it go well for you? There's a whole bunch of different additions and things, I think.
Well, not only that, but then we played the Lego Creationary, which is something similar, but it's just instead of drawing, it's building Lego.
Yes, that's up on the channel. Hit that subscribe button and check back soon. We have videos every single Tuesday.
Sounds good.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.